Trade recap time. I didn't do one for yesterday. So I'm going to quickly show you the trade that I took. You can pause and read it if you want to. There you go. Today's trade, pause and read if you want to. But we'll get into it now. So, before market opened, the 4 hours bullish. Yes, we had this 4-hour imbalance and these 4-hour imbalance here, along with hourly lows down here and hourly lows here. Thank you. 4 hours bullish, imbalance here, and hourly lows here. Right. So, market open. Well, no, we had news today. We had CPI 8:30. 8:30 news came out and swept out hourly lows and filled a 4-hour imbalance on both charts. That for me means we're instantly looking for longs. Not charting anything else, we're only looking for longs off of market open. That's it. So, going into market open, we marked out all these lows. Let's keep in mind these lows though. 8:32. Oh my god. We had marked out every single one of these lows. I was like, yeah, we'll wait for a sweep of them. Hopefully one index doesn't sweep them. We'll get an SMT, we'll get a break, we'll get an entry. And for ages, that was the case. So these lows at 8:32, we can see ES swept, NQ swept them out at 9:44. ES at 9:44. God. ES at 9:44 had not took out those lows down there. So I was holding on that SMT for a while, for quite a while. But we get no breaks. We did break there, but NQ didn't break, so we didn't take anything from it. And even so, after that break, we got no third confidence anyway, so still no trades. And then ES took out that low at 10. And I was like, okay, the SMT does no longer hold, so let's start looking for a new SMT. Alright, these lows, we were still above them. NQ had swept them. So I was kind of taking off that SMT in itself, which isn't really a valid SMT if I'm honest. And it wasn't even an SMT. I can't remember what I was doing. But that was not the SMT we were looking at, because we ended up taking this SMT on the 1 minute, very rubbish SMT, 10 o'clock to 10:07, NQ. If we look at 10 o'clock to I always do that. 10 o'clock to 10:07. I think that was the SMT. Let me check. I'd like to think so. Yes. So yeah. So NQ hadn't took out that low. Yes, had took out that low. And that was the SMT I went off. Not very valid SMT, I'll admit that. And then we inverse that imbalance, and I was like, I'll enter. I had my stop at that low. We got our fill like, that can't be right. Had a take profit up there. So we must have got our fill. It's there, somewhere there. Yeah. And we got stopped out, but I didn't hold the trade till my stop, because what I did was I saw NQ not inverse that imbalance at all. So I closed the position quite quickly, like 50 seconds later, like down here, right before getting stopped out. So it was all right. But what was not all right was the fact that this was not a valid trade entry off our trading model, because there was no third confluence, there was no breaker structure. It was just purely quite a silly trade, if I'm honest. After that, I just logged off and had to go to work anyway. I had to leave for work at half 10 Eastern time, or New York time. So I think I purely took this trade just because I still cannot accept the fact that I need to be okay with not taking trades. I need to just learn that not taking a trade is alright and it's fine. Because capital preservation is key. I just need to get that in my head. So yeah. Still some psychological stuff to sort out. But today was better than yesterday because we didn't take another trade. It was fine. The real trade we should have taken today probably still would have lost. So let's jump into that one. So if we remember correctly, these are the 1 o'clock lows on the hourly. ES is nowhere near them. NQ has swept them. That is the SMT we should be looking at. So this SMT didn't hold. This one didn't hold. We actually wanted to come down and take out this 4-hour imbalance. And yeah. Or fill out this 4-hour imbalance. But we wouldn't have known that. But anyway, we would have noticed that these lows here to these lows here, I think. Yeah. So 10.13. And then these lows down here at the same time. To there. We would have noticed that SMT if we were looking for a trade, probably. And that means we'll look at NQ because NQ is the one that swept the low. And then we would have noticed, okay, boom, we broke structure. What time did we break structure? 10.18. When did ES break structure? To the upside, 10.18. So that's a valid break of structure. And then we would notice, okay, we're fine to take a trade. We've got an imbalance here. Probably would have entered off of that reaction. But if we had been, this is unlikely, but if we had been patient, order block, entry, tap into that along with equilibrium, a close out of equilibrium, the order block in the same candle, boom. That would have probably been plenty for me to enter. Targeting up there, or even just there as a first take profit with a stop underneath the order block, maybe under that low, and it would have been stopped out. And this SMT would have still even held it because ES still did not grab that low. If we see, like, ES did still not grab that low. So there's the true SMT, I guess, but we would have took it off that one. But would that have formed a 5-minute SMT? That's the question. Yes, it would have. So we would have took that trade regardless. But if we had waited for this SMT, the trade is still quite a simple one. It's very obvious. SMT, imbalance filled. If we took an inverse fair value gap as the break of structure, instead of the break of structure, then boom, there's a confluence. And if we waited just for an extra break of structure, boom, stop underneath this imbalance, target any form of highs, pre-market open highs, and we had marked out, because obviously our bias was long, we had marked out 4-hour targets of 4-hour imbalance, middle of it, the halfway point of it, etc. Hourly imbalance, and all that jazz. We had all of that marked out. ES did come up and hit that 4-hour imbalance here as well. But overall, our system didn't really work out today because we were looking for longs. But in hindsight, shorts probably would have been a better play to look for, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is we didn't follow our rules that well. We didn't take the obvious setup. Something going into tomorrow is I did it well today. Wait for an SMT. We waited for that today. That was good. We were an observer until an SMT was found. What I'm going to do tomorrow is not use inverse fair value gaps as an entry model. I'll treat an inverse fair value gap as a break of structure, probably. I'll just treat it as, yeah, we broke structure. If both indexes do that, then yeah, sure. There's our break of structure before a break of structure. And then a fair value gap entry and order block entry in equilibrium, ideally. That's what I'm going to look for. And then, like I just did then, wait for a break of structure to finally enter. Or the other way around, if it was a break of structure first, wait for an inverse fair value gap to finally enter. So going into tomorrow, need to be an observer, be patient, wait for the SMT. Always check both indexes, because today the further trade that we took was pretty stupid because NQ did not inverse that imbalance at all. So again, that was pretty stupid of us. And then just all in all, take the setup that makes the most sense, that's obvious. Take the obvious setup. Don't try and find one. Take the obvious one. Like people say, oh yeah, take the low-hanging fruit from the tree. It's easy one to grab. Take the obvious setup. So with that, it's a trade recap for the day. Overall, our expected bias played out just to not the extent we expected. We expected this to get filled, and CPI did that and swept out hourly lows. So I thought, yeah, we'll go higher now, but we wanted to come down and fill it completely. So our bias did end up playing to fruition, just not to the extent we didn't expect it to the extent that it did. Overall, not a bad day though, in my opinion. It could have been better, could have been worse. We cut our loss short because we realised we were stupid. We lost 0.1%. That's nothing. And we just need to we need to just drill into my brain. We're an observer. Trades aren't always going to present themselves to us. We need to have the bad habits in place to preserve our capital when the market does not give us an entry. And market today did not give us an entry when I took the first entry, so pretty stupid. And the entry that I charted out, probably I would have took it, so would have been a loss regardless. And with that, that wraps up this trade recap. Apologies not on yesterday. It's just could be asked. Yesterday was a pretty dull day anyway. We broke our rules quite a lot. We were not an observer. We just took 2 trades. 0.5% loss yesterday, 0.1% loss today. We're on a 3-day losing streak. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Could be looking at our first fully losing week, which is fine. We need that market experience. We need that going forward. And with that, see you tomorrow, maybe.